All right, let's talk about one of the weirdest, most human things we do: blushing. That moment when your face completely rats you out and tells everyone exactly how you're feeling, whether you like it or not. We're going to break down why your face does this and get this, how that so called betrayal might actually be your secret social superpower. Oh, you know the feeling. It's that sudden, uncontrollable wave of heat that just creeps up your neck and boom, explodes across your cheeks. It's such a physical feeling, but it's triggered by something purely social. And for that moment, you just feel totally exposed. It's awkward, it's embarrassing, and yeah, we've all been there.
And the triggers are always the same, right? Maybe you trip over your own feet in a crowded room, or your boss calls on you in a meeting and your mind just goes completely blank. Heck, it can even happen when someone gives you a really nice compliment and you have no idea what to say. In all these moments, your body's got one response: turn the heat on.
So, what is actually going on inside your body? Because this isn't some kind of design flaw. It's actually a super sophisticated, lightning fast biological process. This is your body's social red alert system, and it is firing on all cylinders. Let's get into the anatomy of how it all works.
Okay, here's where it gets kind of wild. Your brain sees these awkward moments, tripping, being put on the spot, as a threat. Not like a lion chasing you threat, but a social threat. Your brain thinks you've broken some kind of social rule or that your reputation is on the line, and it immediately kicks off a very, very familiar chain reaction. So here's the play-by-play, and it all happens in seconds. First, your brain's social alarm goes off. Ding, ding, ding. Second, this triggers your body to release a flood of adrenaline. Yep, the exact same stuff that gives you that fight or flight rush. Third, that adrenaline causes something called vasodilation. And finally, all that leads to the bright red flush across your face that you know so well.
Let's zero in on that word for a second. Vasodilation. It sounds super technical, but it's actually pretty simple. It just means your blood vessels get wider. The adrenaline tells the little veins in your face, your ears, and your neck to just relax and open up. And when they do, a huge wave of warm red blood surges right up to the surface of your skin.
But why just the face? Why not your elbows or your knees? Well, it's because the skin on your cheeks has way more tiny blood vessels, or capillaries, than almost anywhere else on your body, and they're sitting right near the surface. This pretty much makes your face the perfect billboard for advertising exactly what's going on inside. This whole process absolutely fascinated the great naturalist Charles Darwin. He couldn't totally wrap his head around it, but he knew it was a big deal. He called the blush the most peculiar and most human of all expressions. And that really gets to the heart of the puzzle here. So we've nailed the how, but now it's time for the much more interesting why. This is what we call Darwin's puzzle. If blushing is so dang embarrassing and seems to put us at a disadvantage, why in the world would evolution keep it around? I mean, really think about it for a second. In the animal kingdom, showing weakness can get you killed. A blush is a signal you can't control that says, hey everyone, I'm flustered, I'm embarrassed, I'm stressed. It just broadcasts your inner feelings to the whole world. So what possible benefit could there be in making ourselves so obviously vulnerable? And here is the absolutely fascinating answer that evolutionary psychologists have landed on. The blush isn't a bug, it's a feature. It actually works as a kind of social reset button. It's a tool that's been designed over millennia to help us manage and repair our social connections on the fly. A blush is basically a non-verbal apology. When you blush after messing up, your body is physically screaming to everyone around you, oops, I know that was bad, I care about the rules of this group, and I feel terrible about what I just did. And you want to know the most powerful part? You absolutely cannot fake a blush. It's a 100% honest signal. And this brings us to the final, and I think most empowering part of the whole story. That honest signal isn't just a quick apology. It's your body's built-in trust signal. So far from being a flaw, your blush might just be a genuine social superpower.
So let's compare two people. Someone makes a mistake, and their face turns beet red. Someone else makes the same mistake, and nothing. Who do you trust more? Well, studies show we overwhelmingly find the person who blushes to be more trustworthy and even more likable. Their blush is proof that they're genuinely sorry. The person who doesn't blush, well, they can seem cold or like they just don't care.
And we're not talking about a small difference either. The numbers are pretty stark. Research shows that after a social slip-up, people who blush are seen as way more trustworthy than those who don't. That red face is literally rebuilding social bonds and mending trust in real time. It's incredible. So, the big takeaway here is this. The next time you feel that heat rising in your cheeks, try to see it differently. Don't think of it as your face betraying you. Think of it as your body telling the truth for you. Your blush is an authentic, honest signal in a world where, let's be honest, those can be pretty hard to find. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought. In our world today, which is so full of social media filters and carefully crafted images, could it be that this uncontrollable, unfiltered, and totally human reaction is actually more valuable now than it has ever been? Something to think about.